Hey, how are you guys doing? Welcome to Quality Shot Tennis. Today we've got the encounter in Vienna between Nishikori and Jack Draper. We are starting up the stream a little bit late into the match, but we are at 4-5 on serve. We are on 4-5. It was just 5-3. We're now on serve at 4-5. Nishikori versus Draper. The veteran, I guess. Yeah, the veteran versus the young kid coming up. So I personally very, very excited about this one on paper. And I'm actually going with Nishikori for the upset. I'm predicting Nishikori for the upset in 3 sets. I have a good feeling about Nishikori in this tournament. This one, the last finals that he reached was in Vienna. So I'm excited about it. Say hey in chat if you're joining in. But yeah, once again, a little bit late starting up, but we're currently late into the first set, 4-5. It's about to be Draper to serve. All right, Draper here serving at 30 love at 4-5. Forehand Nishikori, the forehand of Jack, who it's a great shot down the line, 40 love. I do not think that these two have played before. Draper has had recent success, obviously got to the US Open semifinals. They have played before. Draper is up 1-0 in the head-to-head. Okay, I forgot about this. They played in the Olympics, which was 6-1, 6-4 for Jack on a clay court. Nishikori's best surface isn't clay either, though. But still a good win. Good serve out wide. Gets to 5-5 for Jack. I think that's a good win. But Nishikori obviously has only been just coming back to the tour. That was probably like his second or third tournament in the last, I don't know how many years. So Nishikori is only just coming back. But he played really good tennis in his last couple of events, and I have a good feeling about him going into Vienna. He had a match point against Holger Rune, which he just didn't convert on, but he was playing very high level there. Back into the net. First point for Mr. Nishikori, 15 love. So from Nishikori, forehand to Draper, forehand to Nishikori, forehand to Draper, 40 love for Nishikori. Draper, very, very big talent, but that can still happen with Draper, whether it's shot selection issues or just mental, the mental strength to perform in the big moments, or just unforced errors where he overhits or doesn't hit the right shot. Like, that can still be an issue with Jack, no doubt. Some of the physical issues as well, but I don't think he should have a problem right now. He didn't play last week. He should be rested. And good to go for a best-of-3 match. Good net play from Nishikori there, covering the net very well. Gets to 40 love. hopefully you guys are checking out the new podcast out on the channel, by the way, new Tennis Era podcast. That's starting to be a weekly thing, which is great. You can check out the new one. You can also check out the first one. I talk about Stockholm, the final, which Paul managed to win over Dimitrov. So, wow, what a pass from Nishikori. Gets a 6-5. In my draw predictions, I predicted Nishikori, I think, to get to the semifinals. I predicted a draw to myself where I filled out the draw. And I think I had Nishikori either in the semis or the final. I had him going far, but it starts with him potentially getting a win here. So all right, nice. We got over 12 people watching. Appreciate you guys for joining in. Let's go. Tail end of the set. .39 minutes of play. Nishikori said one of his motivations for playing again was to play these young guys. He's getting a chance here now. He'll like the chance better on this surface than he would on the clay courts at the Olympics. So let's see. Serving first is always nice. Nishikori 4 points away from the set. Draper, though, with a big serve down the tee, gets to 15 love. First serve into the net from Jack. Second serve. For Nishikori, big shot from Nishikori, 15 all, 3 points away. Can he convert here and break on Jack's serve? It's a big task. Nishikori seems to be moving well. He's very explosive, which is great. Forehand down the line. Forehand goes again inside out to the forehand of Draper, that lefty forehand. Backhand now, Draper sliding well down the line. Forehand of Jack. Backhand Nishikori, good depth from Draper. Backhand slice, Nishikori. The forehand of Jack. Forehand Nishikori, that's in the net. 30-15 for Jack Draper. Don't forget to like, subscribe. How long does the game have left? Yeah, so the match is best of 3 sets. I think you're talking about the match. The match is best out of 2 out of 3 sets. The first set is almost over. The scoring is so hard to explain. But we've almost finished 1 set. We've either got pretty much 1 more set to go or 2 sets to go, depending on how this goes after this. Draper just hit a good passing shot. We're probably about to play a tiebreaker, which is different from a regular tennis game. That's a longer thing. First to 7 points, and then we've got 1 or 2 sets after that. Draper coming from a breakdown. Tiebreaker incoming. Let's go. That's in the net. So 6-6. Let me know in the chat who's going to win this tiebreaker. What's going to be the score? Whoever gets the closest, I will shout you out. I'm going to go with Nishikori 7-5. Yep, locking it in. Nishikori 7-5. Let me know in the chat. Faison, you have a guess too. Let's see who gets it. Draper in the net. 1-0 Nishikori. K's moving well. He's hitting the ball well. It's good to see K still around. Shame with Raonic. I always connect Raonic and Nishikori together because they're kind of from the same generation, along with Dimitrov. You could almost put Kyrgios in there, but he's definitely not at a level of Nishikori or Raonic. But it's a shame with Raonic. He just keeps getting injured, but his level's there, pretty much. Forehand goes behind Nishikori. Smart shot from Mr. Jack. Nishikori has a world-class backhand, so he has countered the Draper cross-court forehand very well. Okay, nice. I appreciate the catch-up as well, because I haven't really been watching, but that's good, yeah. He does have a world-class backhand, no doubt. Draper wins 8-6, okay? Let's see. I've got K 7-5. 44 on the match clock. Forehand Nishikori, way up high to the forehand of Draper. Forehand of K. Off the baseline, forehand Nishikori. Backhand to Draper, stumbling a little bit. Forehand Nishikori, inside out. Forehand Draper defending. That goes out. 2-1 Nishikori. Nishikori hitting the ball very, very well. But this is what I expected in this match. Like I expected him to be at a high level. And it's not a shock that he is. Well, first of all, amazingly, Nishikori won the very first tournament when he came back. It was a challenger event, but still, that's mighty impressive. Didn't even have a ranking. And then the last two tournaments that he's played, he lost to Tsitsipas in a very close match in Shanghai, and he lost to Runa after winning good matches against Thompson and Cilic. Barely, very narrowly lost to Runa. So yeah, I expected good things from Nishikori because that's the level he's been bringing. Forehand of Draper, the forehand Nishikori. Oh, he had the forehand lined up. Bad error from Nishikori. Nervy error from Nishikori. He was playing the score, not the ball, because he knew that was an easy chance to go up 4-1. He just overcooked it. Didn't have to be that good. I feel like Draper had basically given up on the point because that forehand was sitting up for him like a nice dinner. Nice buffet, but Draper not making first serves, which he will not be happy about. Second serve now coming. Nishikori runs around it. It's a forehand, but he catches it a bit late and is out of position. 3 points all in the tiebreak. Three points apiece. Jack with the serve. Serve. Forehand Nishikori goes cross. Great return. Nishikori back far behind the baseline. Net cord. Draper, but it goes in. That does not get over the net. It's 4-3 for Kei Nishikori. Nishikori definitely one of the most well-liked players. He's one of the players that I've always liked. Very flashy game. Very strong player. No doubt about it. I feel like Nishikori and Raonic just don't get their dues. They don't get the dues that they deserve. And Nishikori definitely a very good player. I think he has like a career high ranking of number 4. That's pretty criminal that he hasn't been higher than that. Although I think like Berdych and Tsonga, like they've been number 4 as well. And none of those guys ever made it to like the top 2 in the world. Like David Ferrer, career high ranking number 3. Del Potro, career high ranking number 3. Wawrinka as well. Oh my God, squash shot and then a beautiful pickup from Draper. Are you kidding me? To get the mini break back, these young guys are killing it. What a shot from Nishikori, by the way. Squash shot was brutal. Like a freaking sniper. That squash shot. That's a beautiful shot from Nishikori. And Draper gets down low to it. That's an incredibly replayable point. Awesome shots from both of them. That's the kind of point that might win you 2 points. Because you're like, man, if he could do that, I don't have any chance. Takes a little bit of confidence out of you on every shot you hit. Feel like you have to do a little bit too much, maybe. To physically kind of get the lead and win the point. Back in Nishikori down the line. Back in of Draper. Goes by Nishikori. Can't get it. Draper gets behind 4-3 with a mini break. But an onslaught from Jack Draper goes from 90% to 100% with that backhand down the line. Was the tiebreaker go up to 7. It's 1st to 7, win by 2. 5-4 now. 1st to 7, win by 2. Draper can't make a first serve in the court. Nishikori's got to be smarter than he was on the other side, on the ad side. I don't think he has the time to really run around and hit a forehand that clean. He does opt for the backhand, and that goes out. So, like Matthew, like you were saying in the chat, he's got a great backhand. He can survive well off the forehand to backhand exchanges. It's not like he's absolutely dead off those exchanges. 5-5, big moments here. Does seem like it was always going to be close. Serve down the tee. Nishikori gets to the backhand lob. Forehand Draper. That's going to be too good. 6-5 for Jack Draper. There will be no 7-5 Nishikori. Yeah, Draper coming back from breakdown. Yeah, good comeback and fight from Jack Draper, the Englishman. Draper, of course, playing for the UK. Nishikori playing from Japan. First serve goes out from Nishikori. How important is that point going to be at 4-4 and 4-5 and at 4-3 and 4-4? Big return, forehand's in the net. Draper too good at the end there, and that's gonna dishearten the spirits of Nishikori a little bit. Great return, but Nishikori just caught all out of position there off the forehand, and great return from Draper. Gets the first set 7-6. A good fight from Jack Draper. It's going to Jesse need Draper over 23.5. Fancy points, Draper. ML for last leg of my leg. All right, we'll see how Draper does. I did pick Nishikori to win this. I picked him for the upset. It was a very close first set, but listen, for your bet's sakes, I'm hoping that Draper performs well. Stats are very, very close, almost the same. 8 unforced errors for both, 16 winners and 15 winners for either player. On serve, I like looking at all the stats. On serve, they've won 83% and 85% of first serve points, which is fantastic. Draper actually doing worse on the second serve points. They both have won the exact same number of baseline points, which is kind of incredible. The stats almost cannot be closer. Draper's had more unreturned serves. Nishikori's had more success coming to the net. But total points won, it's 49-30. The first set could not be closer. And big takeaway, I guess, is that both guys are serving well and playing well. Fantasy tennis is hilarious. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Well, tennis is unpredictable, right? So it's always hard to predict things. All right, let's go. We're starting up the second set now. 53 minutes played. Serve from Mr. Jack Draper. Forehand. Draper too good. Cross court. That's a winner. Backhand into the net from Nishikori. 30 love. Will Nishikori be encouraged or discouraged by that first set? That's like the question, right? But I think he's got to keep doing a lot of the same things, you know, from what I've been watching, and he might find the success. Draper is missing a lot of first serves, at least since I've started watching. So might get more chance on the second serve return. Net core, drop shot. Nishikori might get there. It's a terrible drop shot. Nishikori missed that shot. Wow, strange. Nishikori all out of sorts here after losing that first set, it feels like, because that was a gimme from Draper. So heavy-handed on the drop shot, and Nishikori missed that by about 100 feet. He missed that well wide. Not 100 feet, but maybe 99. First serve in the net from Draper. Nishikori looks a bit tired, to be honest. It's the way he looks. Whether he is, I don't know. He's not moving as gingerly. Maybe. Backhand slice. Slicing a lot. Backhand cross court. Forehand Nishikori. Goes for the winner right away. He's kind of giving up on that point. 1-0 for Jack Draper. Where are you watching? I'm watching on Tennis TV. I'm watching on Tennis TV. Erste Open, Vienna. Earlier, Team retired, which is... Team was, for a while, he was my second favorite player behind Federer. Not for a long time, but he was for a while. I really enjoyed Team in his career. Always one of my favorite players. No doubt. I loved his rivalry against Rafa. And what a backhand on Team. Yeah, I really enjoyed Team's career. So it's sad to see him go. At least he had a few one-hand backhand winners before he had to call it quits. It is a sad career, though. I don't quite remember seeing it where it's so much like he climbed the mountain, got to the peak of his career, and then right away just kind of fell off. It's a kind of depressing thing, but he still had a great career, honestly. Forehand in the top of the net from Draper. 15 love for Nishikori. Nishikori might need to exert a lot of energy into these service games and then try to just be a little bit, like Jack Draper brought the intensity in the tiebreaker, be able to do the same things. Maybe not exert too much energy on the return games and then bring it for the tiebreaker. Because if Draper is hitting so many unreturned serves and is 85% first serve points won, that might be what he has to do. We'll see, though. But it isn't like he's incapable of breaking Jack's serve, so we'll see. Japanese, good luck, Kay. Okay, nice. Hey, I appreciate you coming in and joining the stream. Thank you for joining in. It's cool to get people from all over. So I'm from the United States, but it's cool to get people from everywhere. Is Nishikori your favorite player? Let me know. First serve goes out. Second serve for Nishikori. Draper would love nothing more but than to get a quick break here to keep that momentum. Oh, that was close. I thought Draper made the return. That must be millimeters out or something. Oh, it was very close. Draper nearly hit a fantastic return, but it just missed the sideline. It would have been a clean winner all day. I miss being at the tournaments and like Atlanta Open, US Open, actually seeing the players live. That's fun. Seeing such good athletes live like that. That's a good time. Forehand Draper. He gets that return, though. Missed the backhand just, but that forehand was perfect. 30-all. Nishikori needs to find a little bit more here on the serve because he's giving chances to Draper. That was so central, that serve. I feel like Nishikori might be a little bit tired in the legs. He's not looking He maybe put too much, like he put so much energy into that first set. He was moving very well. Now, we'll see. We'll see. Very central serve again. Forehand Nishikori, the forehand Draper. It's a great defense to offense. Backhand, great eye from K. All these guys, these younger guys, are sliding on hard courts all day. That was a Djokovic, Menzik, Sinner-like shot. Open stance, sliding on hard court. Very few people can hit that shot, and he nearly got it, but good from K to stop himself, not hit the volley. 40-30. He's got a game point to get to 1-1 at least. Backhand, that goes out, 1-1. A couple returns just missing, either the sideline or the baseline. Nishikori not looking 100% at his best with the serve or with his movement, but he still gets on the board in the second set. Draper going to the Super Bowl. See if Draper keeps up the level. Nishikori ranked world 4th in 2014. Yes, K Nishikori, a fantastic player. I got a chance to interview Nishikori, by the way. And right before I interviewed him, I was like, geez, I'm about to interview a former world number 4. That's unbelievable. I've also now interviewed Andy Roddick and Bob and Mike Bryan, who, in my opinion, are the best doubles players ever. So, yeah, it's crazy to me, some of the opportunities I've been able to have, but I'm hoping to just keep getting more. So 30 love. It's all about growth and putting yourself out there, getting opportunities. Second serve here from Jack Draper. Forehand Nishikori, the backhand of Draper, forehand of Nishikori. Forehand of Draper, backhand Nishikori slice. That's cross court into the net. 40 love. Wow, perfect serve down the tee from Draper. Gets 2-1. He's 4 games away, but we're still on serve. Oh, wait, I meant the World Series. Jesse, I don't know what you're talking about. You're just naming other sporting things. He's actually gonna win the Piston Cup. Nishikori about to serve here at 1-2. He needs to find more effective first serves. He does there. Good angle. Backhand Draper. Forehand Nishikori. Goes back to the backhand Draper. Forehand Nishikori. Down the line is a great shot. Draper's there. Drop shot. Good skills from Nishikori. Some of the skills that allowed him to be world number 4. Draper's quick, though. He's quick for 6'4". Quick with the racket, anyway. I mean, hell of a shot from that position. He's got good depth. Good, consistent depth. Forehand, the depth is too good there because it goes long. 30 love. This might be what Nishikori wants to do. Just a lot of energy into his own service games. That forehand goes wide. 30-15. What's the membership perks? Yeah, so early access to different videos is one of them. Early access to lots of different video content. And then also you get specific emojis, emoticons that are specific to the chat. You get to track how long you've been a member, and there's other stuff as well. But those are some of the perks. It's awesome. Shout out to all the members who it's a great community here of different people who are members. So yeah, that's some of it. $30 all here. Maybe have a chance for Draper again at 30 all, just like in the last game. Forehand chip, drop shot. Draper's there. Backhand hits over. Backhand Nishikori. Draper on top of the net. Rushing across the net with the forehand volley put away. 30-40. Great shot. Great shot there from Draper. Serve Nishikori. Down the tee. Backhand Draper has in the net. Great serve from K. Clutch. Didn't overthink it. High percentage, but also very good. And well angled. Down the tee to that backhand. Where it would usually be to the forehand, but with Draper to the backhand. Serve down the tee is very good again. Forehand or backhand, doesn't matter. Draper can't get it. Nishikori digging his way out of the hole. He's at advantage. He's not quite, doesn't have his head quite above ground yet, but he's getting close. Oh, how do you find that angle out of nowhere? Forehand Nishikori rocketed across court from the middle of the court. Perfect angle. Finishes that game off in style. That shot shows that he's got more to give in this match. That's if you want to know K's done, he's not. 2-2. Prime Nishikori with that forehand. Yeah, that was awesome. Serve the backhand Nishikori, backhand of Draper. Backhand Nishikori, forehand of Draper. Backhand Nishikori, it's in the net. By the way, we got to rethink tennis age. Period. Point blank period. Djokovic beat Carlos Alcaraz on clay courts in the big final of a big tournament, the Olympics, in straight sets at 37 and a half years old, or at 37 years old. Like, we have to rethink tennis age. So, like, anyone who's like, at this point, people back in the day, they're like 30, 31. Yeah, they're just about closing their career. Now, somebody who's 34, they've got plenty of time. Like, they could still hit some incredible tennis. Federer, Agassi, Djokovic, even a guy like Gil Monfils is doing well now, and he's like 38, but the way he's moving on the court is sensational. But particularly a guy like Novak, Rafa, Roger, they all played really well at 36 years old. So Kei Nishikori, who I think is like 34 maybe, 33, 34 probably. 34, I'd say. Yeah, he's 34. Like, he's got time. He's got time to still show his stuff for real. So, I mean, he's 3 years away from the age in which Djokovic just won the Olympics, and that with that quality of play. So we got to rethink tennis age, you know. That goes out, 40-15. Even like David Ferrer was playing really well till late in his career. And I'm forgetting some names as well, but We gotta rethink tennis stage. So Draper back in Nishikori, forehand to Draper, forehand Nishikori, forehand Draper, volley put away. 3-2. Good stuff. Good stuff. But yeah. But it's that longevity that's amazing. From Novak in particular. He's now played in 76 Grand Slam main draws. The record is 81 for most appearances in a Grand Slam tournament. It's a tie between Roger Federer and Feliciano Lopez. But that means that if Novak just plays all 4 majors next year and then the Australian Open in 2026, he's already at least tied for the record. If he plays till Roland Garros 2026, he will have the record. So it seems to me very likely that he'll have that record. Not a sure thing he'll even play every slam. Hopefully he stays healthy. But even if he he'll probably play all 4 next year, especially because that's probably what he's going to target, is to play all 4. But let's say he plays 3 next year. That's still just he'd have to play till, let's say, Wimbledon 2026. Like, it seems pretty likely that he's going to grab that record, I think. Draper visited to Tokyo in Japan because he took part in Japan Open. Yeah, did you get to go to the Japan Open at all? Did you get to see Draper or Nishikori or anybody else in Tokyo? That seemed like it was a good tournament, right? It was Arthur Feast beat Bear. That was Tokyo, right? Pretty sure I have that one right. Yeah, Feast beat Bear, saved a match point. That was an incredible final. That whole week was an incredible week of tennis on the women's side and the men's side, which is kind of amazing. Woman in the crowd giving middle fingers to the camera. That's funny. I don't remember ever seeing that. She either has a great sense of humor or she's had one too many drinks to drink. Either way, I appreciate it. That's funny. Wow, backhand is massive from Draper. Return winner. Nishikori not being lethal enough with these serves at all. Serve forehand to Draper. That goes out. 15-all. Backhand Draper. Can't quite get under it. Forehand Nishikori hits over it. Great shot from Kei Nishikori. He's got more to give in this match. There's no doubt. More to give in this one. And this is exactly what I'm saying. He's putting his energy into these service games. This is where he's giving his going up to 100. That's where he's bringing it up to 100. Might be waiting a little bit for the tiebreaker. Forehand Nishikori, very solid. The hands. I love seeing these players rushing forward. Both these guys are very talented. Draper is a big talent as well. Serve here from Jack. Down the tee. That's too good. It might come down to another tiebreaker here. I'm still not counting K out, but it does look like Jack is more fresh, just looking at the two of them. Hello. How's it going, MJ? Backhand. Way up high. It's 30-15. Tits boss. Sorry, what about tits boss? I wish I could always I say so many things in my streams that sometimes it's hard for me to know exactly what chat's referring to, but I try to keep up. Forehand, inside out, very good from Jack. Pounds on the forehand. The problem for Nishikori is that he's finding good ways to defend behind his serve with his skills, with his defense to offense. He's putting a lot of intensity into it. And Jack hasn't quite taken advantage yet, but Jack is serving much more lethally than K in this set. So I am a little bit worried that K, there will be a point where K will have to struggle on his service game, but we'll see if he'll be able to save those break points if he does face any break points. That is a great point from both players, actually. But Nishikori misses the forehand, and it's 4-3 for Jack Draper. Three. I'm a high school student. I'm studying, listening to your live. Hey, I appreciate you. Yeah, don't forget to subscribe, all that stuff. Yeah, I mean, I'm a big tennis fan as well. Do streams. It's all good. That's cool. When I did high school and stuff too, I would just listen to stuff in the background, and there's different tennis videos and stuff. So I'm glad that I can do that for other people as well. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Off-court coaching will be introduced in 2025. Predictable this was going to happen. Yeah, I don't like it. It's annoying. It's one thing it's one thing for there to be the on-court kind of the thing where coaches can coach now, but for the off-court thing, I don't like it at all. I don't know why we need to add that in. It just feels like to me, I like the independent aspect of tennis, and it's been said to death, but yeah. I talk about that in my newest podcast, by the way, and I talk about exactly what it means in my newest podcast. But they'll also be able to show real-time player analysis technology to the players, which is just like, I mean, we're turning tennis into basically AI. Like, the best thing is if people can figure it out in real time. And then, yeah, once you're in between matches, that's why you put in the work, you study, you perfect your game, and people do the more work. They often come out on top, not always, but often. That's a net court from Draper. He gets to love 15. Danger maybe for Nishikori, with Draper winning the first point. Bit of a luck. But it just, I don't know. I hate it, honestly. I very much hate it. I don't think it's gonna, let's say, ruin the sport. I think something that would basically ruin the sport was if they were to take away best of 5 sets at the majors. I feel like that would basically ruin the sport. This, I don't think it ruins the sport, but it puts a huge blemish on it. I still think a lot of players are just going to prefer to lock in and use what they have more than anything else, which is good. I feel like we've seen that a lot, honestly, over the last couple of years, in my opinion, from what I've seen. But it goes out. 15 all goes out from Draper. But I don't like it at all. So just to make that clear. I hate it. I talk about it a little bit more in length on the new Tennis Era podcast that's on the channel if you want to check that out too. I read out the exact things that I found in some articles of what the changes are going to be and what they mean. Forehand Nishikori, the forehand of Draper, backhand Nishikori. That's in the net, 15-30. And is this what I was kind of talking about a little bit here? Draper Draper having so many more unreturned serves than K. Draper in so many of these points on Nishikori's serve. Draper certainly ruthless on a tennis court, locked in. He's locked in, and K does not have the keys at the moment. Second serve here from Nishikori. Serve. Great serve. Draper guesses wrong. He was so much leaning towards Nishikori going down the tee, which has been the more popular option for K rather than going to the forehand out wide. But Draper guesses a little bit too much, and K pings him the wrong way. 30 all. Backhand of Draper, forehand of Nishikori, backhand Draper, forehand Nishikori, backhand Draper, forehand Nishikori, backhand Draper again, cross court, forehand of K, forehand Draper, forehand of K with a big shot down the line. An injection of pace. He says, not today. I'm not going down 30-40. He's been doing very well at finding ways out of these tough holes in the service game. He's having to work way harder on the service games. Is it going to pay off at the end of the day? Draper having slight chances in a lot of these, 30 alls in now at least 3 games, including a break point as well. Second serve, though, to work with, though, for Draper. Goes down the tee, backhand Draper. Backhand Nishikori hits the net cord, goes in, though. Backhand cross court, forehand Draper, down the line, goes out. Nishikori does survive. I didn't expect that, honestly. I felt like Draper was going to win that game. Nishikori was deeply in trouble. Bad unforced error at 15 all, got to 15-30, but then second serve caught Draper off guard, completely missed the forehand, and then now we're at 4-4. Still think that tennis is basically played on the court. No matter how much coaching you get, you still got to play. Yeah, I mean, I think for the most part, that's what we've seen. I still would prefer it not to be an option, though, because I feel like it does kind of hinder the game. But I agree with you. I think that that's what most players are going to be doing anyway, because that's just the nature of the sport, right? If you infiltrate too much of that into your brain, you can kind of zone out a little bit, and you're kind of relying on other people when I feel like that could hurt you mentally when so much about tennis is relying about yourself just inherently. Though you can't change that. So by putting your reliance on other people and what they tell you can kind of hurt you a little bit. But so I mostly agree with you, MJ. I agree with you. Forehand floats long from Nishikori. It's a bad return. He knows it too. He had to play on it. Tennis Channel in USA love showing the Greek matches. Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, Cerundolo just split sets with Steph, so Francisco Cerundolo is underrated. He's not like crazy good, but he's like nobody ever talks about him, and he's really good. He's just like one of those guys that I wouldn't usually be like, oh my god, he's so good, but he just doesn't get talked about. His forehand's fantastic. He's just a solid player. Not one of the most fun to watch, but to me anyway, but he's good. Been as high as like top 18, 17 in the world, I think. Pretty sure. What is his highest ranking? I think it's like 16 in the world or something. Could be wrong. Number 19. Okay. That's like Nicholas Jarry. That kind of makes sense. All right, 30 all here. Big point. Wow, Ace just seals the deal maybe for this game as he gets to 40-30. Kind of the biggest chance that Nishikori's had in a Draper service game this set by far. But now we're at 40-30. 1, 2, 3 on the match clock. An hour and 23 minutes played now. Forehand Nishikori. Yeah, it's in the ground. 5-4. 5-4 for Draper, who's one game away from the victory. If he plays, they show great matches, followed by Mehdi and Sasha. Yeah, that's true. They like Fritz Tiafoe and Paul and Shelton. Korda, not so much. Korda's just differentiated himself from the American guys whatsoever. It feels like he's not in that group of friends as much. I can't say because I don't know them, but that's just what it seems like from the outside. Yeah, I agree with you. Korda is kind of a little bit the what's the word for it? He's kind of the outsider, right? But yeah, Tiafoe is always getting showed on Tennis Channel. Tommy Paul is always getting showed on Tennis Channel. Yeah, Fritz as well. But I feel like Tommy Paul is low-key like Tennis Channel's favorite. I'm always seeing Tommy Paul. Always seeing Paul and Tiafoe. Because they want to support them so that they see their potential. They're like, let's support these guys so they can get to where their potential is, I guess. I don't know. But I'm always seeing Paul and Tiafoe on there. Both guys are extremely talented, to be fair. But so is Korda, and Korda doesn't get the love. Shelton is getting better and better. I don't know. I really deeply hope that Taylor Fritz getting to the final of the U.S. Open acts as a statement that USA tennis is at the top of men's tennis. Like, okay, we are here, and I hope that the floodgates open, right? I don't know if that means that they're going to suddenly be Sinner Alcaraz level, but I hope that the floodgates open for more opportunities. And I think very well that it can for all those guys, for specifically for Korda, Fritz, Paul, Tiafoe, and Fritz. I feel like all those guys can get there where they do big things. I mean, particularly in my opinion, Paul and Fritz right now, but Korda and Shelton in the near term as well. And Tiafoe, when he's at his peak, he's fantastic too, particularly at the U.S. Open, I suppose. But he's a great player as well. Backhand hits the tape, goes in from Draper. Forehand, that's a ridiculous shot from Jack Draper. Left 15, 3 points away is the Brit. Wow, ridiculous shot. What skill and athleticism from Jack Shaw the match. Nishikori did not get enough depth off that shot, but Draper, just the Terminator, terminated that ball. Forehand cross court, the backhand of Nishikori. Forehand to Draper, that goes long, 15 all. TC shows Korda like they show Kenin. It's kind of funny. Yes, exactly. One thing they're American. Exactly. Korda almost looks like, I don't know. He almost looks more like, I always think of him as like a Czech Republic guy. Like, he kind of looks more Czech to me. But I think his dad is actually originally from Czech Republic. Am I wrong about that? Yeah, his dad is Czech. He almost looks more Czech, but he is American. Anyway, Korda's going to have the last laugh. He gets a lot of things set his way. He's going to have the last laugh when he actually wins a big tournament down the road, because I've got faith in Korda to do that. Draper is 2 points away from winning this one. Thank you guys for joining into the stream. It did start a bit like midway through the first set, but we're going to stream this one. We knew we were going to stream this one. Tight first set. Draper now 2 points away within the victory. Backhand cross court, forehand Nishikori down the line, forehand to Draper, forehand Nishikori. Oh! Can you believe it? Draper can believe it. What a shot from Nishikori out of nowhere. You know what that reminded me of? That reminded me of Rublev's squash shot against Bublik at Wimbledon last year when Bublik thought he had a winner. Ridiculous shot. How that escaped the net, I don't know. A couple of extremely good shots this game. There's a forehand cross court. Backhand Draper's there. Smash behind Draper. Smart from Nishikori. Remember that Hail Mary forehand fly swatter shot. If Kay escapes out of trouble here, this is a lot of fun to watch. Amanda Anisimova doesn't get any TC love. Yeah, Anisimova does. Come on. She deserves the support. She has one of the highest peaks on tour, low-key, if she's actually playing well. She's one of the best backhands if it's in form. Anisimova is so underperforming. She's so underperforming. It's crazy. Serve down T, backhand Nishikori, forehand of Draper, forehand of Nishikori. Draper runs around a backhand. Forehand Draper, that's in the net. He kind of lost his positioning a little bit by being a little bit late running around the backhand. And out from there it was a little bit awkward, and Nishikori took advantage. Love 15. Nishikori with a bit of a chance here, I think. I think this is his best chance to break. And Draper looks a little bit nervous. I think he thinks he already had the match won when he was at 30 all, and it looked like Nishikori is about to hit the net with that forehand. Great return from Nishikori. That's in the net again. Love 30. The mental edge. The mental edge, which right now Draper is basically hanging out the edge of the cliff. Holding on. Meanwhile, Nishikori's got the mental edge. Love 30. Serve down the tee. That's a great serve. Ace. I've got a question for people watching. Type your answers in the chat. Non-tennis related question. What's your favorite album this year? Something I love in addition to tennis is music. Let me know. What's your favorite album from this year? It can be any album. Doesn't have to be a critically acclaimed album or a famous one, popular one. But what's your favorite album this year? I have quite a few albums I've really, really enjoyed this year. But let me know in the chat. I'm gonna give a bit of a recommendation. My favorite album this year, also one of my favorite albums of all time. Probably my favorite group at the moment. It's an album called Imaginal Disc by Magdalena Bay. Unbelievably good record. Unbelievably good. The album is unreal. I've listened through it like 6 or 7 times since it's come out, and I have most of the songs on my phone. Incredible album. So that's my favorite. Magdalena Bay, Imaginal Disc. But there have been so many good albums. There's been a lot of good pop music too, which isn't usually my favorite genre, but it's been really good this year. That's a bit of my recommendation. Not like Magdalena and Sloane Stevens is always on tennis channel. Like Sloane Stevens, Tommy Paul, and Francis Tiafoe are currently Tennis Channel Central. They're always on there for, like, it's funny. Backhand into the net, 6-5. But I really think it's a thing of they know their potential, all 3 of those players. So they're like, we got to boost them up so that they can reach that potential and do good for the US, you know? What music do you like, Anthony? I like so many. I like all kinds of music. I've even been listening to classical recently. I like rock music. I like pop music. I like more stripped down music. I like electronic music. I like experimental music. I like more alternative. I like a lot of different stuff. I like hip hop as well. Like JID is somebody I've been listening to a lot of. There's a lot that I like. Rock music is like my go-to when somebody asks me like my favorite genre. I would say rock. I really enjoy rock music, whether it's like Queen's The Stone Age or even groups back in the day, the Beatles, Rolling Stones, particularly Sticky Fingers. I really love that album. Radiohead is great. In Rainbows is an incredible album. Honestly, my music taste is really weird. Like there's some pop music I like Caroline Polachek, Billie Eilish is good. But I think, and Magdalena Bay, which is kind of pop, but like more in I listen to a lot of weird, like experimental stuff, kind of like Radiohead, but also like Magdalena Bay, a group called Jockstrap. There's this artist named Quadeca who I really like. I listen to a lot of weird kind of experimental stuff. That's really Portishead is a group that I really like. I really like Kendrick Lamar, big idol of mine as well. He's great. Even before the beef or whatever with Drake or whatever, I'm a huge fan of Kendrick. Good Kid, Mad City is one of my favorite albums. So that's some of the stuff that I listen to. There's a lot though. A lot of rock music. I like Cage the Elephant is good. 21 Pilots is a group that I've liked a lot of their stuff. But yeah, that's some. The Strokes is a really good band as well that I really like. AWOL Nation. Yeah, there's a lot. I listen to a lot of stuff. Back in cross court, the forehand of Nishikori. Cross court, back end of Draper. That's in the net. 30 love for Nishikori. I want to hear Shawn Mendes' new album. Yeah, that music I'm not usually that interested in, but yeah, that's fair. Stupid Taylor released something the day he was supposed to release his album, so he delayed it. It seems like she's doing that with a lot of her competition. I heard like she kept releasing new versions and deluxes of her album, her newest album, the Tortured Poets Society, almost just so it could stay number one on the albums chart. That's what it seemed like. Not a huge fan of Taylor Swift, but I like Dua Lipa. She's a pop artist who I like as well. Charlie XCX's new album's good, even though I didn't think it was as crazy good as everybody was saying it was. Brat. But what else? There's other stuff I'm forgetting. Who else? I mean, Billie Eilish's new album this year is fantastic. Hit Me Hard and Soft. Really good. Chihiro is an incredible song. I've always liked her music. But there's a lot of good stuff. So Stevie Wonder is a great. I mean, his song is The Key of Life. Backhand cross court. Cage drops his racket. Too much pace off the backhand from Draper. 30-40. Now 2 match points. Do you like Sabrina Carpenter? Yeah, all her songs are in the Billboard Hot 100. Her new album's good too. That's some good pop music. Yeah, Chappelle Roan has some good stuff too. There's been some good stuff coming out, but Magdalena Bay though has my favorite album this year for sure. I love that album. All right, match point here for Jack. Forehand cross court, that goes out. 1 match point save for Nishikori. Can we go to a tiebreaker here? Can we go to a tiebreaker? 2 points away from the match still is Jack Draper. Back end. Oh, what a return from Draper is ridiculous. That's the talent that this guy possesses. Like literally 10 songs on the chat. They show it on 10 show now. Okay, nice. Yeah, it's nearing the end of the match, so makes sense. Match point number 2. Serve. Back into Draper. Forehand Nishikori. Forehand Draper down the line. Forehand Nishikori. That's going to go long. Great win for Jack Draper over a tough Kei Nishikori who was fighting hard in the second set. But Jack Draper was just a little bit too much for him. GG's in the chat. GG's in the chat because that was too strong. GG. Jack Draper. GG Jack Draper. Too strong, too good. Wow. Good match. That was fun to watch. I just came at the end of the stream. All right, Max. I'm sure I'll be streaming again soon, but hey, it's good to see you in here anyway. All right, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Jack was too good. I think the second set stats will show Jack was serving way better than Nishikori, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna check, but yeah. So this is okay. So see, 16 for 28 on first serve points, won 86% for Jack, and 19 out of 22. So that's the big key stat. Second set, Jack just served a lot better. Kei was clutch. Kei was very clutch. So shout out to Kei Nishikori. He's honestly been playing well, Nishikori. He's just not. He hasn't quite gotten that result. That's really that probably he maybe deserves, but he's still going to put in more work. A couple of close matches. His last few matches were close, but he couldn't quite do it. All right, I'll see you guys for more streams down the road. Please don't forget to subscribe, all that stuff. And check out the new Tennis Era podcast that just came out. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for joining in, and I'll see you guys for the next one. Peace.